My last video was on September 24th, 2023, which is now almost 3 months ago. In that time span where I disconnected from the coaster community for a little bit, so much stuff has happened. Roller coasters were announced, some were completed, IAAPA announced a ton of information, and one of the biggest company merges ever occurred. So what are my thoughts on all of these incidents? Let's get a rundown of the end of 2023 and my thoughts on everything. First off, my home park. Cedar Point had a ton of work on Top Thrill 2. Top Thrill 2 had a train reveal, and they look absolutely fantastic. The lap bars look pretty roomy, and the design is sleek. Moving on to the ride itself, it's literally testing already. There have already been a few tests that have made it over the top hat, and while testing footage doesn't show it going to the max height on the spike, I'm sure they'll test that moving into spring. The ride itself looks incredible on the skyline based on pictures, and the red really pops on the higher parts of the coaster. It's insane how fast they constructed this ride, and it looks great. Additionally, Cedar Point revealed some new food options for locations in the park. Whether this is for a totally new restaurant is unknown. They still have the Mac Shack plot of land open for a new restaurant, and a new eating area in the Top Thrill 2 area would be appreciated. Finally, Power Tower, a ride that could really use an updated paint scheme, is actually being repainted to a more vibrant red. This is super exciting news for Power Tower and may get people returning to the ride. Usually, Power Tower had a pretty short line outside of the busier weekends. And just yesterday, at the time of writing this script, Cedar Point revealed their 2024 events, which are going to consist of Winter Chill Out, a special 3-day pass holder preview where hopefully the use of the keychain is going to be announced, Coaster Mania, a brand new Boardwalk Nights event, and also Eclipse at the Point, which is a special event where some boardwalk rides are open and you can watch the total solar eclipse occurring in April. Cedar Point is going to be great in the 2024 season. One of the biggest pieces of news was that Falcon's Flight is actually happening, and we got a full animation for the ride. Falcon's Flight, for those who have also been living under a rock, is the world's tallest, longest, and fastest roller coaster, opening up at Flags Qiddya in a couple of years. The ride climbs up a cliff in the middle of Saudi Arabia before headed down a massive ramp that also has a downward launch. This leads the riders up a 500-foot tall camelback. First of all, a 500-foot tall camelback, imagine experiencing Diamondback level airtime, but doubling the height. Now, the main thrill of this ride is obviously the height and speed. Overall, the elements look pretty weak. Looking at the layout, there are a lot of drawn-out turns, overbanks, and minor hills. But with that much speed, there's going to be a lot of force through those turns, which will make the ride experience pretty fun. Will it be the best ride in the world? Probably not, but it will definitely be near the top. Other than that, the fact that Flags Qiddya is actually being built is insane. The main worry is, of course, the location. Saudi Arabia isn't exactly the most accessible place for a theme park utopia like this. I'm definitely curious about how much the animations are actually going to come to fruition. It seems like most of the coasters are making it into real life, which is exciting. Aside from Flags Qiddya, there have also been a few notable announcements. First off, Thorpe Park's new mock ride hypercoaster called Project Exodus has started construction, and we finally got a name for the ride. Project Exodus will be called Hyperia and will be the UK's tallest roller coaster. It also looks like an incredible ride, with a super unique drop, turnaround, and a lot of hang time. Hyperia could very well be the best coaster in the country. Also, SeaWorld had a few announcements. Of course, SeaWorld Orlando announced the name of Project Toboggan, a new B&M family coaster called Penguin Trek, which looks to be a great addition to the park. Also, the first B&M family inverted coaster in the United States will be opening up at Busch Gardens Tampa, under the name Phoenix Rising. This looks to be a super fun ride and will be replacing another family coaster, the old and outdated Sand Serpent. A lot of people wanted to gig up, but I feel like this is a pretty good fit for Busch Gardens Tampa. Busch Gardens Williamsburg also appears to have plans in the works for the same coaster model opening up in 2025. That would be very interesting for BGW, as they just got a family coaster in 2023. But it's good that they're expanding their lineup. In other news, Knott's Berry Farm announced an all-new Camp Snoopy area, just like what Kings Island is doing. Knott's will also be receiving a new kiddie coaster in this area. What makes me wonder though, is Knott's just completely scrapping Montezuma's Revenge? We've gotten no news on this project, and there has been little work done on the Schwarzkopf. Hopefully Montezuma's Revenge sticks around, but the future is concerning. However, Accelerator has resumed operation after a very long break. Finally, Saudi Arabia will be receiving the first Access coaster, and while a smaller layout, if the ride performs well, we could be seeing some built in the United States shortly. S&S even revealed a new Access coaster layout, which looks to feature a lot of different and unique elements. If you'd like to see a full video on the Access coaster, make sure to leave a like on this video. But of course, the biggest piece of information came in early November, and I don't think anyone was expecting this. The two most notable amusement park chains of the States, Cedar Fair and Six Flags, once two competitors, just joined together, with Cedar Fair taking 51% of the company and Six Flags taking 49%. The company will be taking the Six Flags name, which is smart because Six Flags is a more well-known name. But the CEO of Cedar Fair, Richard Zimmerman, will remain CEO of this combined company. To my knowledge, no major changes will be occurring in 2024, but what will be interesting is how investments occur for the future. With no competition between these local parks, especially those like Dorney Park and Great Adventure, and especially California's Great America and Discovery Kingdom, the smaller parks could receive less and less investments. So the question is, which investment strategy will they choose? With less competition, they could invest heavily into the bigger parks and leave the smaller parks like Michigan's Adventure out of the question. That would be the Cedar Fair strategy. They could even close California's Great America sooner than expected in order to bring the crowd to Discovery Kingdom. However, they could choose the Six Flags strategy and invest in the smaller parks to grow them up and bring new people in. I feel like the Cedar Fair investment plan is more likely, but the company could surprise us. Cedar Fair seemed to be changing its plans lately by investing in Dorney and Worlds of Fun, so maybe that trend will continue. As for the parks themselves, I feel like operationally the parks won't change too much. Food might improve at the current Six Flags parks up to Cedar Fair standards, and so could theming, which would be appreciated. I just hope it isn't the other way around, where Cedar Fair parks suffer from Six Flags investments. And actually, I don't see the names of the park changing at all. I don't think we will have a Six Flags over Ohio, Six Flags Cedar Point, etc. Operations-wise, I feel like the company knows that Cedar Fair is definitely better with operations and safety, so they will use the safety measures and operations at the current Cedar Fair parks, and implement them at the current Six Flags parks. And one final note on this merge, the passes. There is currently no pass for all of the Six Flags and Cedar Fair parks, but as I said, these changes probably won't be implemented until 2025. So a pass for 2025 for the entire chain is definitely expected. The only really worrisome thing about this merge is the future investments, as they could be good for the coaster enthusiasts or also pretty bad. But I'm excited to see what the future holds for Six Flags and Cedar Fair and all of the changes that will come out of this merge. So that's all of the memorable news that happened during my 3-month break. It's been a very interesting way to wrap up the year, and I hope to get back to making videos soon. I'm headed to Disney in a few weeks, so that should bring me some content for the winter. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Comment what you think of the Six Flags Cedar Fair merge, and have a great rest of your day.